Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Italian, and welcome back to Willy Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town. This is Act 15. When we last left off, we found the adventure galley, Captain Kidd's ship. She's filled with gold, and Willy's father, who I believe has, by virtue of being stuck down here and not having much food to eat, resorted to eating hallucinogenic mushrooms in order to survive. Though I gotta say, his hair is really well groomed, and so is the rest of his face. Like, he's very clean looking. I mean, there's fresh water here, and I suppose he could have found a razor or a knife or something that he could sharpen to take care of his hair. But it looked very professionally done. Then again, he had 10 years to get in practice, so there's that. But still, I want to know where he'd find the soap. Fresh, clean water is good and all, but it only does so much. But at any rate, I looked on the walkthrough to see what I did next, because I was a little bit stuck. And it was something I had the right idea for, but was just doing it wrong.
This old mannequin was used to deceive the enemy. The more mannequins there were, the larger and more dangerous the crew seemed. I could use it to distract my dad and enter his cabin. If I could disguise it as a pirate, I could make it pass for one of Kidd's most bitter enemies. If I'm not mistaken, he named Morgan and Blackbeard earlier. I really see it as a Morgan. They seem the right size. I don't think there was much variety of measurements on a pirate ship.
Yeah,
it's starting to look like a member of the crew.
Yeah. I think it was probably just like pins and belts were probably used a lot to keep everything snug.
A classy touch. The hat makes it look more important.
Yeah, because both of them became captains of their own crews, according to quote-unquote Kidd.
This gives it an aura of mystery. Let's try to make it meaner. Discreetly threatening.
Yeah, because it's sticky.
What's happening now? I hope it's something important.
Captain, there's Morgan on the bridge.
Morgan. Damn scoundrel. You finally came back for the final showdown. It's really you, foul traitor. What nerve you dare show. By returning to the ship you turned your back on after it welcomed you as a child. Prepare yourself to face my wrath.
While Dad is busy, I can access the captain's cabin.
You won't get far.
Wow.
Take that! I won't let you get...
Wow. That handle's really stuck to the... Yeesh. You weren't joking when you said it was sticky.
It's the chalice from which I saw Dad drink. From the pungent smell, I'd say he put in some of the mushrooms I saw in the cave. Dad has placed the logbook to protect the chalice's contents. Since I'm here, I better take them both. The same acrid smell of the mushrooms I saw in the cave emanates from the chalice. This could explain many things. Dad managed to survive all these years on a mixture of water and mushrooms. Even in small quantities, they sustain any organism that feeds on them and provide vital energy. On the other hand, they're also a powerful hallucinogen. Dad's state of shock following his fall from the cliffs, combined with the sight of Kidd's ship, made him believe that he was the captain. If he keeps drinking from this chalice, he might never wake up. I have to get rid of this chalice. Professor Jones taught us that a strong adrenaline rush will counteract the mushroom's effect. First the chalice, and then the adrenaline. One thing at a time.
Okay. That's good.
The galley's nautical charts. With these, it'll be possible to reconstruct the history of the ship, follow the routes it traveled, and identify the ships and cities it pillaged. These are the nautical charts of the galley. They will be worth a fortune. With these, it would be possible to retrace the ship's routes and identify the places it visited. I can't deal with this right now. It's more urgent that I find a way to get out of here with Dad. Kidd, the sea dragon. The adventure galley was equipped with extraordinary weapons, which is the reason it became legendary. It's the statue of a dragon, It was also Kid's nickname. Other than Scourge of the Seas, he was known as the Sea Dragon for the firepower of his cannons. Better leave it where it is. I don't need it to get Dad out of here.
Okay. That's as good as we're gonna get.
It's time to end the game. Don't show your face again, Morgan.
Oh.
Look who's back. Henry and his kid, the young Morgan.
How did you manage to get here, Steve?
It wasn't difficult. I was looking for you all over town, and suddenly, a stroke of luck, I saw you entering the crypt in the graveyard. I waited for you a long time. Eventually, I decided to enter and I saw the tunnel. Henry, I didn't think you were still alive. I am partly relieved. My regret was consuming me. In the end, you were right. Kid's ship was docked here in Bone Town.
How dare you come aboard my ship without permission and offend a member of my crew? Who are you?
Henry, don't you recognize me? It's me.
Dad! Captain! It's Blackbeard. He was also able to get on board.
Blackbeard. Yes, I recognize you now. I see that you and Morgan are still inseparable. You'll end up just like him.
Henry, not again.
You leave me no choice.
I understand, Henry. I'm ready.
On guard!
Whatever you want, Henry.
The day of reckoning. Finally.
We'll see who comes out victorious.
Please
Prepare yourself.
avoid the people who are doing the sword fight. Like, to be fair, Steve has no idea that he's hallucinating badly.
This cannon is ready to shoot. I should have a valid reason to do that.
Oh, so that's not valid? What do I do?
On guard!
Whatever you want, Henry.
It's an engaging duel. I could stay here admiring them all day if I didn't have to save my dad and myself too.
Reyes.
Prepare yourself.
I was born ready.
I have to get rid of it so that the mushrooms won't proliferate inside.
I'm just warming up.
That's not a good idea. It could resurface in the vicinity of the ship. I have to find a way to get rid of it permanently. I have to get rid of it so that the
Huh. Ooh, Ooh.
On guard!
Whatever you...
It should work. It's not a cannonball, so it won't have such a devastating effect. And now the coup de grace. Fire!
Right, you have still matches.
I did it! Heck, I didn't see that coming. The racket from the cannon was more devastating than the shell itself. Better go back on deck and alert Dad.
You don't stand a chance this time.
We'll see. I admit it. You defeated me, Henry.
A victory over a man who was once a friend has no value for me.
Captain, I'm sorry to interrupt your duel, but I think we need to go. The cave is collapsing.
Captain, what are you talking about?
The adrenaline caused by the duels with Jimbo and Steve is reducing the effect of the mushrooms. Hurry, let's go. There's not much time.
Not before seeing the treasure. I've never been so close to it, and I have no intention of leaving now.
But Steve, not now. There will be other opportunities in the future.
Yes, Steve. The kid's right. Let's run while we still can.
Henry, do you recognize me?
Steve, is that you? Oh, I'm not sure what's happening. It feels like I just woke up from a long dream.
There's no time, Dad. Let's go.
Dad? How come? Who?
You go! I want Kid's treasure. It represents my whole life's work. Henry, just know that I didn't want any of this to happen.
Steve!
Farewell.
Dad, let's go.
Okay, I'll follow.
few hours later.
Dad, I finally found you.
Willy, is that really you? How long has it been?
10 years, Dad. 10 very long years.
10 years. So this means you received my letter.
Yes, but why did you only have it delivered after all this time?
I sensed that something was wrong with Steve. I could see it in his behavior. When I realized that the search for Kid's treasure was becoming an obsession, I started to suspect that he could hurt our family. I hid my piece of the map and decided to deal with it. You are a Morgan. You have the spirit of adventure in your blood. But you were only 5, and I didn't want to trouble Mom with such a burden. I hoped that in 10 years Steve's obsession would vanish. I decided that if anything ever happened to me, you, after turning the necessary age, would be ready to pick up from where I left off. So I sent the post-dated letter.
I read Steve's diary. I know you fell off the cliff. How did you survive?
A stroke of luck. I fell right into the sea, and the tide pushed me toward an underwater passage that led directly to the cave. I wanted to find a way to get back to the surface, but I had to recover my strength first. The last thing I remember is some really delightful mushrooms. Then, it's all a blank.
Dad, let's go back home. We have a lot of things to talk about. Plus, we have to find a way to tell Mom without making her faint.
Elizabeth, yes, we should go back.
Ready to leave Bonetown once and for all?
Bonetown is not a bad town. As soon as the legal formalities are arranged, we could think about coming back here. Remember, deep inside the cave is still the Adventure Galley. Who knows how much it can still tell the world about the golden age of piracy.
Speaking of which, when I took the chalice, I also brought the ship's logbook with me. Here it is.
Knights of the Sea. Is that going to be the sequel? Well, this is the end. I didn't realize I was that close to the end. That was amazing. I love this game. And I'm also extremely excited over the idea of a sequel. Yeah. There's so many unanswered questions, like, did Steve survive? Did he get the treasure he wanted so badly? I mean, he's now a known criminal because Willy has his diary. Obsessive over treasure, I would call him, but not necessarily malicious. It's not like kidnap and hurt Willy, it's more like keep an eye on him, see if he leads us to something we haven't found yet. I wonder if they could ever restore Bonetown after everything that happened. Yeah. Well, that's it. I thought maybe there would be like a little post-credit scene, but nope. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I had a blast. Not sure what I'm doing next. Probably another hog. It's usually my thing. But at any rate, this is now Curtain Call. If you enjoyed the show, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload a new video. Until then, that's it for me. Bye-bye.